Hey everybody, so welcome to Chat with Kat. I have something interesting on my mind. I want to ask this question: why is disability such a taboo topic? Why? We make up 27% of the population, and only the people that are directly affected by it are the people that talk about it. And I really don't understand why that is. I mean, it just blows my mind. And I'm saying this because it came up in so many different ways this past week for me. Starting with last Saturday, I was at an event for my books, and yes, it was an inclusive literacy festival. Yes, it was a disability resource fair. So obviously people with disabilities are going to frequent there, and parents with children with disabilities are going to frequent there. But even the organizations that were there, if you really ask them why are they passionate about this, a lot of the time it's because they have a child that has a disability, or they themselves have a disability, or their parent had a disability growing up, or whatever. And so it just, or a neighbor or a friend or anybody. So I want to understand why it is that disability specifically, I feel like people only show an interest when it directly involves them in some way. And I don't see that when it comes to other minorities and other sectors of society that are looking for inclusion and looking for equity. The other example that I can give is I participated in the advocacy day for the Christopher Reeve Foundation, and that is a day that all the regional champions of the organization get together through their state, and we talk to our state representatives and their assistants, and we talk to them about all the things that the Christopher Reeve Foundation does for the disability community. And this year, my group from Florida spoke to 4 different representative assistants, and majority, I would say 3 out of the 4, were very knowledgeable about who Christopher Reeve was, but there was this one that really didn't know much about him, and we had to explain it to her. And yes, she was young, and which was my first thought of kind of like giving her the benefit of the doubt, is that she was young and maybe she just never heard of him, because he did die, in 2004, which to my mind-blowing knowledge was 20 years ago. So she may just not have learned about him yet, which is totally other topic that I've spoken about a million times, that schools need to get on board with disability history, which I have heard is now becoming a thing, so that's good. But my point in saying that is, the Christopher Reeve Foundation is doing such important work for not just finding a cure for paralysis, but giving each person with a disability, a quality of life, which is what Dana Reeve brought into the situation. When her and Christopher Reeve married, she really reiterated that she wanted people with disabilities to have activities and resources, to have a quality of life and equity in life. And so I really love that. And so it was sad to me that 1 out of the 4 really didn't know who he was. And that, again, is a direct result to disability kind of being a hidden topic that isn't really talked about in circles that aren't directly affected by it. So that's number 2 example. Number 3 was, and this was the most blatant one that I can think of, after the advocacy day, was over, I then went to the movie theater to watch the documentary about Christopher Reeve called Super/Man, because if you don't know, he was the actor that portrayed Superman in 4 different films between 1978 and 1990, I think it was, like a few years before his injury in 1994. I'm sorry, 1995 he got injured. So, and it just was a very real documentary kind of depicting what his life was like before, during, and after his accident, and how he really, after his accident, worked hard in helping the community of people living with paralysis and their families have resources and ways to live better lives. So it just was such an amazing documentary, and there was like 6 people in the movie theater, and that was very upsetting to me because he is a true icon and a true inspiration to so many, and the work that him and his wife and their family and those that are involved in the organization are doing is so profound, so meaningful, and yet very little people were there to watch this documentary. And so that was very disheartening to see, especially because 2 out of the 6, including myself, were people with disabilities, so, and their families. So I mean, that really makes up the whole 6. And the other, actually no, that makes 4 out of the 6. The other 2 were actually people that are friends with Christopher Reeve's son, Will. So that was why they were there to watch. So again, it's people that are directly involved somehow within the disability community. Whether they have it or not, they're involved in some capacity. So I'm going to go back to my first question, which is, why is that? Why, if we make up 27%, which is more than a quarter of the population in this country alone, why is it that we are still hidden? We're still not recognized as an important and integral part of this society that we could bring so much to. And this is why I do the work that I do. I'm a children's book author and public speaker because of this. I want to educate the next generation to not allow this to keep going, but to really include people with disabilities in their daily activities, because we bring so much to the table. And again, I'm not just doing this as a public speaker and children's book author. I'm working hard in transferring my book series into an animated series, and hopefully I'll keep you guys posted on that. It's looking like it's heading in a really great direction, and I'm super excited. But I've been talking for 9 minutes, so I'm going to cut it here, and I hope you guys have a really great day, and leave your comment in the chat to let me know why you think disability is still, in 2024, such a taboo topic. Talk to you soon. Bye.